Hi everybody, today we're going to make a delicious oil-free red pepper hummus from the Food Revolution Network. So the first thing you're going to do is get a can of garbanzo beans, or you can use cannellini beans, the white beans if you prefer. And of course, I love Simple Truth Organic. I get a lot of questions about hummus. It seems to be one of everyone's favorite foods. So beans in the can are already cooked. You don't have to cook them unless you want to cook them. So I have drained them, and you're actually going to save the chickpea juice, which they call aquafaba, as the liquefier in the hummus, or you can use vegetable broth. But I'm going to try it with the bean juice. So we're going to do a whole can, just one can, and I'm using a food processor intentionally. If you saw my first hummus video, you know why. This is much easier if you have one, and it uses less liquid, but it's totally up to you. Vitamix is great if you have a Vitamix or a blender. So 1 can of the garbanzo beans, and then it does call for tahini. The last recipe I did not have tahini, and there was an outroar. Why is there no tahini? But this recipe does. So you use a tablespoon of tahini, which is sesame seed butter. To be honest with you, I am sensitive to sesame seed, so I'm going to leave that out, but you can feel free to add that. And then it's going to use a 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. Now there's some more liquid, and I am fortunate to have this amazing lemon tree in my backyard, so I already juiced the lemon. And then we're going to do 3 cloves of garlic. Now I am going to cheat, which I know some people don't like, but I use minced garlic from the can or jar because I use it pretty much every day. So a 1/2 teaspoon is 1 clove of garlic. You just want to keep an eye on it because it can go bad, but if you're not using it every day. And then we're going to add in some roasted red peppers in the jar. And these are in water, they're not in oil. I just found them at my regular Kroger grocery store on the shelf. And we will do that. And then we're going to add in some cumin. Now, in my opinion, hummus is best when using cumin. So we're going to do a teaspoon of cumin. And optional is salt. You can leave it out. I'm going to start with a 1/2 teaspoon, but I may need to even do a full. We'll start with a 1/2. Okay. And that is almost it. We're going to add in some chopped green onions. Now, if you like a different kind of onion, feel free to substitute. And again, you can always make this your own by adding and subtracting whatever works for you. It says 3 tablespoons. I'm just doing 2 green onions here. And I love green onions, but you could use the red, purple onions, sweet onions. I'm going to start with 2. Maybe could even use more. All right, how easy is that? That is our last ingredient. And we're going to start slowly with some of the chickpea juice, the aquafaba, and go slow. So again, it uses less in the food processor than it would in your blender or Vitamix. So I'm going to start like that. Let's see how we do. Okay, let's take a peek. Oh, it's red, but that's good. Now, I feel like that consistency is good. I could have even used less. I used about 1/2 of what I had, so it's a little thin, but it's still fine. And we could even add more beans if we wanted to. Let me just blend it one more time. So I think even a 1/2 can was just a smidgen too much. great. And if that happens to you, you just add another can of chickpeas. Looks delicious. So you can do whatever you want with the hummus. I'm going to add these beautiful peppers. Got red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, filled with fiber, because plant-based diet is filled with fiber. A lot of people are always asking about the protein, but we like to ask, where are you getting your fiber? Because animal products don't have any fiber, and you need fiber to help pull out the wastes and excess hormones and medication out of your body. Okay. And the more colors you get in your diet, the better. We're also filled with vitamin C. So hummus really helps you to eat more raw veggies, because I know it's not, for some people, it's not the most enticing thing just to sit down with some raw veggies. However, these colorful peppers, I think, have a ton of flavor. I like to keep them in a Tupperware and just snack on them like I would apple slices before a meal to fill up on some raw veggies. There we go. And of course you can add carrots. And again, this recipe is from the Food Revolution Network, which is started by John Robbins and his son Ocean. And John Robbins is the reason I went vegan in 2002. He wrote a book. He's written several best-selling books, but the one I learned about was Diet for a New America. And John Robbins was actually the heir to Baskin-Robbins, the ice cream empire. And he chose to not do the family business and wrote books about going plant-based instead, because he saw that the dairy was hurting and killing his family members. His uncle, who started the ice cream business with his father, died in his early 50s of a heart attack. His dad started getting diabetes in his early 50s. And John thought, this is happening because of all the dairy. So he chose to embark on his own path. Has been very successful. So I'll put a link to their Food Revolution Network. Now I wanted to show you a little trick with celery. Celery can go limp in the refrigerator pretty fast sometimes, which bums me out because I love crisp celery. And so you can just cut off the ends and soak it in water. This only soaked for like an hour and it's all crisp again. So just a little trick so you don't have to toss out your celery. All right, lots of great veggies going on here. Now, I've got two kinds of crackers because my husband loves wheat. He loves gluten. I like gluten, it doesn't like me. So those are for him. And these are my little gluten-free rice crackers that I love. They don't have sesame oil in them. So many crackers have sunflower and sesame oil, so I have to try to find things that don't. So we're gonna try to doctor up this plate and make it look pretty. Lots of colors. And we can do the yellow also. And you can do pita, you know, like the bread. Everyone loves that. You can do pita. You could do gluten-free tortillas and cut them in little triangles. We'll just do a fun platter here. A little variety of everything. Okay. Now we will dish up the star of the show. Red pepper hummus. It smells delicious. Garlic and cumin, and you could always garnish it with some green onions. Now another thing you can do is add, if you like cilantro, you could add a cup of chopped fresh cilantro to this as well. So we'll start with that. You can put the rest in the Tupperware and it'll be good for definitely 4 days. All right, so there it is. Oil-free red pepper hummus from the Food Revolution Network. So thank you so much for joining me and saving animals with your food choices. Have a wonderful week.